Right, welcome to the Average Golfer's Guide, our newly launched channel that has me, an average golfer, testing out golf clubs, trying to find out how to build the best bag that works for you and not against you. And today we're going to look at what I think is a real integral part, an integral question in getting that bag set up. And that is, where do you stop in terms of the longest iron that you have in your bag? Right, so an area of the bag that I've been concentrating on for the last couple of years, and we've been encouraging golfers to really have a look at that longest iron and whether or not they've got clubs in the bag that quite honestly are a waste of space. They're duplicating what can be seen in other parts of the bag. And really what is going to determine which iron you choose as being the longest is going to be dictated to by your club head speed. And quite simply, the slower you become at that longer end of the bag, the less likely you're going to see any performance difference between the likes of your 6, 5 and 4 iron. So I'm going to kick things off with my 6 iron. First point to mention is this: I talk about building a bag that works for you. It's also got to work for you in terms of in your headspace as well, because so much is played between the ears. When I look down at a 6 iron, I see enough loft for me to still feel confidence in it and not sort of feel like I need to be switching up to different clubs. So that's really key as well. Irrelevant to what these numbers say, you've got to have confidence in what you're looking at behind the ball. So I'm happy with the 6 iron. I'm more than comfortable with the sort of control elements. Let's see what it does in terms of performance. Well, that's a really good strike, at least I think it is. Yeah, it's got my little cut shape. The kind of numbers to pay attention to is 82 mile an hour club head speed. That's what we're going to look at what the consistency is when I start to go to the 5 and the 4. We've got a 117 ball speed, launching at almost 20, spinning at almost 5, and a 170 carry. These are almost every one. And it's got a land angle of 48.4. If I'm honest with you, without hitting another ball, and I won't bother because that's as good as I've got with my 6 iron in hand. So realistically, I'd be saying to you it's a 165 carry is where my 6 iron's at. So we've got a little bit more out of it. It's got my shot shape, the spin, the launch, the land angle, all combined. There's no reason why that would come out of my bag. It clearly performs really, really well, and I've clearly got the club head speed still to get the benefits and the attributes that this club can give me. But what happens when I move things up into the 5 iron? Well, if you don't go anywhere, I will grab the 5. I'm starting to see a little bit less loft, so you know, maybe in the head am I thinking, well, can I handle a 5 iron? I'm pretty sure I'll be okay with this in hand. And that again is a really solid strike and a 120 ball speed. That is a super ball. Almost hitting it too well, to be quite honest with you. But we're looking to prove a theory. And the theory is we've crept up 2 mile an hour in terms of club head speed. And that's, so you're going to see an incremental, the length of shaft is going to incrementally increase. There's a lot of words there, but basically it gets longer. And the club head speed will be generated from that extra length of shaft. So we've seen a couple of mile an hour club head speed. We've seen a launch angle still maintained really good. Spin number still really good. Land angle again, yeah, you guessed it, really good. So again, in my own personal bag now, I'm looking at club head speed. I'm still generating enough club head speed to get the benefit out of a 5 iron, and there's justification as to why it should be in the bag. So we've gone from 169 to 182 carry. That's a 12 up 13 yard carry distance. It's perfect. So then I'm into the 4 iron, and like I said, we've got a slightly longer shaft. Now for me, one of the big deals, and for you also I would imagine, I'm starting to look at a club now that the confidence is dipping slightly. I don't want it to affect my mentality in terms of this test. But if I'm looking down on that, I'm starting to ask questions of my own swing. I'm starting to think I've got to, maybe, I don't know, in my head, swing a little bit faster to get the benefit out of this thing. But anyway, we'll give it a go. So, can we match those 2 shots and give this 4 iron a fair crack? Well, the answer is yes, because that's absolutely out the middle. Do you know what? That is, from a performance perspective, almost makes this, doesn't do me any favours in terms of this test, but there's some key things that you'll start to see in the 4 iron as to why you start to need to consider differences. First of all, this is where the club head speed starts to have similarities. So you'll see 84.9, that was pretty much from recall the same as what I generated with the 5-iron in hand. The ball speed jumps a tad, and only a tad, and the spin rate starts to drop, as does the launch angle, as does the peak height, as does the land angle. So these are all relative. And there's every reason why this 4-iron can still stay in my bag. It does a job if that's the job I want it to do. But what I'm starting to question now when I get to the 4-iron, do I want to be coming in at a green at 41 degrees? It's still flat. It's really good performance for a 4-iron, but it's still relatively flat. I've then got spin starting to drop, even though it's a really good number, it's still starting to drop off. So this is where I'd be considering other options in the bag. Even though there's every suggestion that if I was playing links golf and I wanted to carry the 4-iron, I can still probably do it. But I'm starting to look at other clubs as being, well, maybe I can just get that carry distance, that 190 carry, with a bit more launch, a bit more peak height, a tad more spin and a steeper land angle. So all of a sudden I've got a club in the bag that's working for me, maybe not against me. But that's something you're going to have to work out when you go through your bag. I started this video by stating that, well, how do you work out? How do you decide? Well, you need to consider all those things. But the one thing you need to pay attention to, in my opinion, is that club head speed. I'm still okay, if I'm honest with you. Things aren't too bad. I performed reasonably well, respectable. But take yourself into a TrackMan centre or something similar and ask, can you pay to go on for a short period? And just do the same sort of test for yourself. Look down that lower end of the bag, and you'll soon identify where and when you start to need to consider switching up clubs. Because I can assure you, if that club head speed starts to get a little bit too similar, then you'll start to see that each of the clubs performs very, very similar in terms of the carry distance. The grouping will start to all gather, and you'll be carrying clubs that are of absolutely no use to you in the bag, and you can be looking to switch things up. Hope that made sense. My performance was, if I dare say, too good in many ways today to really see the difference I was hoping to identify. But trust me, you go in there, try that club head speed, try your swing speed, see how it fares for you, and you'll start to realise there's a time in which you need to start changing those clubs out, and club head speed will arguably be the dictator. Right, hope it made sense. As ever, thanks for watching. If you're new to the channel, and this is a new channel in a way, then please consider subscribing. Drop me some comments down below, and I'll always be sure to reply, and your support is greatly appreciated. Thanks for watching.